In this video, we will go over how to determine the winner of an election using 4 different voting methods. The 4 different methods are the plurality method, the board account method, the plurality with elimination method, and the method of pairwise comparison. Here's our class problem that was first introduced when we created a preference schedule. The results from the election are summarized in the following preference schedule. Let's determine the winning city using each of the 4 methods. First, we'll determine the winner using the plurality method. With the plurality method, all that matters is the number of first place votes each candidate, or in this case, city, receives. From the preference schedule, we can see that 45 people chose Fresno as their first choice, 40 chose Reno as their first choice, and 15 chose Carson City as their first choice. So based on the plurality method, Fresno is the winner. A full ranking for all of the candidates would be first place would be Fresno with 45 votes. Second place would be Reno with 40 votes. Third, we have Carson City with 15 first place votes. And then we have a tie for fourth, and that is Oakland and San Diego with no first place votes. Second, we'll determine the winner using the board account method. It's important to note that the number of points that we use is dependent upon how many candidates are in a particular election. In this case, we have 5 candidates, so the point values range from 1 to 5. Let's start with Fresno. We can see that there are 45 first place votes for Fresno, and each of those votes are going to be worth 5 points. But we also have 40 fifth place votes, which are worth 1 point each. So total for Fresno, we have 45 times 5 points plus 40 last place votes worth 1 point, and another 15 last place votes worth 1 point. And if we add all of those up, we get 280 points. Let's do the same for the other cities. Keep in mind that first place will be 5 points, second place 4 points, third place 3 points, fourth 2 points, and fifth 1 point. Let's move on to Reno. Reno in the first column gets 45 last place votes, all worth 1 point. In the second column, Reno has 40 first place votes, all worth 5 points. And in the third column, Reno has 15 fourth place votes worth 2 points. So totaling that up, we get 45 last place plus 40 first place plus 15 fourth place votes for a total of 275 votes. And I'll continue this way with the remaining 3 cities. So based on the board account method, Oakland is the winner. A full ranking of the candidates would be first place is Oakland with 360 points. Second place is Carson City with 325 points. Third place, we have Fresno with 280 points. Fourth place, we have Reno with 275 points, and fifth place is San Diego with 260 points. Third, we'll determine the winner using the plurality with elimination method, which is also known as instant runoff voting or ranked choice voting. The plurality with elimination method is similar to the plurality method that we did first. However, it requires that the winner have a majority of the votes. First, we look at which candidate or city has the most first place votes. We see here that Fresno has the most first place votes, but Those 45 first place votes are not a majority. So we start out with Fresno in first with 45 first place votes, Reno in second with 40 first place votes, Carson City in third with 15, and both Oakland and San Diego each have 0 first place votes. Since there is a tie for last, we will eliminate both Oakland and San Diego and hand down their votes to the next candidate. We will cross them off our preference schedule and bump up the other cities. So Carson City comes up to second place and Reno will move up to third place. Now let's retally our first place votes. Notice that nothing changed in that first row. So we still have Fresno with 45 first place votes, Reno with 40 first place votes, and Carson City with 15 first place votes. Still, the candidate with the most first place votes does not have a majority. So we repeat the process. We will again eliminate the candidate or candidates with the least first place votes. This time, it's Carson City. We will now cross off Carson City on our preference schedule and hand their votes down to the next preference on each ballot. Let's recount the number of first place votes with the 2 remaining cities. Fresno still has 45 first place votes, the same ones they had before. But now with Carson City eliminated, Reno gained another 15 votes for now a total of 40 plus 15 or 55 first place votes. With 55 first place votes, Reno not only takes the lead, but also has a majority. So based on the plurality with elimination method, Reno is the winner. A full ranking of the candidates would be first place, Reno, second place, Fresno, third place is Carson City because they were eliminated second, and fourth place, we have a tie with Oakland and San Diego. Both were eliminated first. Finally, we will determine the winner using the method of pairwise comparisons. This method is much like a round-robin tournament where every team plays every other team. With the method of pairwise comparisons, we will compare each candidate to every other candidate in a head-to-head comparison. For each win, a candidate receives 1 point. For each tie, both candidates receive a half a point. With 5 candidates, we need to do n times n minus 1 over 2 comparisons. So that's 5 times 5 minus 1 over 2. 5 times 4 is 20 divided by 2. We need to do 10 comparisons. Let's start by comparing Fresno in a head-to-head comparison with every other city. When we compare Fresno to Reno, we see that 45 people prefer Fresno over Reno, while 55 prefer Reno over Fresno. So in this case, Reno is the winner and receives 1 point. If we compare Fresno to Carson City, we again have 45 people that prefer Fresno over Carson City and 55 that prefer Carson City over Fresno. So in this case, Carson City gets the point. Compared with Oakland, we again have 45 people preferring Fresno over Oakland and 55 preferring Oakland over Fresno. Oakland is the winner. Fresno versus San Diego, we have the same 45 preferring Fresno over San Diego and 55 preferring San Diego over Fresno. San Diego is the winner. Now let's compare Reno with every other city. We've already compared Reno to Fresno, so what's left to do is Reno versus Carson City, Reno versus Oakland, and Reno versus San Diego. When we compare Reno to Carson City, we find that 60 prefer Carson City, over Reno, and 40 prefer Reno over Carson City. So in this case, Carson City is the winner and receives another point. Comparing Reno to Oakland, we have 60 that prefer Oakland over Reno and 40 that prefer Reno over Oakland. Oakland receives the point. And finally, comparing to San Diego, we have the same results, with 60 people preferring San Diego over Reno and 40 preferring Reno over San Diego. San Diego gets another point. Now let's move on to comparing Carson City to each city. Last, we need to make sure that we have compared Oakland to every other city. We've already compared Oakland to Fresno, Reno, and Carson City, so our last head-to-head comparison is Oakland versus San Diego. Comparing Oakland to San Diego, we find that in every column, Oakland is preferred to San Diego, which means that all 100 people prefer Oakland to San Diego, while no one prefers San Diego over Oakland. So Oakland gets the last point. If we tally up each city's points, we have. So Carson City is the winner. And based on this method, a full ranking would be first place, Carson City, second place, Oakland, third place, San Diego, fourth place, Reno, and fifth place, Fresno. In conclusion, we can see that each of these four methods produces a different result with the exact same election. And that concludes our video. In this video, you learned how to determine the winner of an election using 4 different voting methods.